Not as fun now, because I left my camera on at the start. So literally the start of the stream was me just looking at my phone. Great start. I'm on this camera, not that camera. But I'm looking at that screen because that's where my screen is now. Anyway. I need to get back into shape. Not well, I do really need to get back into shape, but I mean just in terms of live streaming, I feel a bit out of sorts for some reason. I have got more live streams to look there. See. I've got more live streams to come. There is more to come, including Innie Builds Dallas Fort Worth, which might take a good 3 hours to go through because it's bloody huge, but that is coming soon. So inevitably the live stream, the preview, first look preview, will be coming soon. Don't know when, but it'll be coming soon. That's all I can say for now. But yeah, I'm looking forward to having a look at that. Was it like 7 runways, 5 terminals? So it's going to be quite a large live stream, I think. Hey, Rodessa, good to see you. Hello, Brian. Hello, all. Hello, all. Hello to you, and hello, all. And everyone rewatching. So this is not really a sort of an up-to-date live stream, guys. It is mostly for me to check out, and obviously for you guys if you haven't actually seen these airports before. So after taking a look at Drzewiecki Design's Warsaw Radom, the freeware, his most recent scenery that he brought out. It's a freeware, it's paintwear quality, it's a gift to the community. It's bloody gorgeous. Go and take a look at my live stream. You don't need to watch it all, guys. I do make all my live streams available to watch afterwards. What's going on with me hair? I can feel it on my forehead. Yeah, I've got it there on the live stream section of the channel. Go and give it a watch through. Just have a look at the details that Drzewiecki's put into that. It's exactly the same. You know what I mean? It's what he usually does, and it's lovely. It's a lovely one. So as I was going through that, I was like, do you know what? I haven't seen his most recent airport. I am a big fan of Drzewiecki Designs, as many of you are. For people who are watching this stream or rewatching the stream, if you've not seen his sceneries, then I really recommend going to have a look. I've linked the sim market product pages in there, and while you're there you can obviously go into his actual profile or his product sort of overview, and you can have a look through them. There's absolutely loads on there, and my favorites are still some of the older ones. So there was Reagan, there was Washington Airport, and obviously his Boeing factory runs. His Renton one is still one of my favorites, favorite ever. You know, you can just, you can go in there and just watch the production line of the 737 MAX, and it's incredible work. Animations, there's custom animations, there's custom sounds. It's lovely, and I think Renton was one of the first ones I'd sort of ever seen, or at least one of the actual first ones that you could have you would see custom, sorry, not see, but you could hear custom sounds in. So obviously in like the control tower, if you were to go in there, you could actually see, you could actually hear the ATC chatter. It was pretty impressive. So in this live stream, what I've done is I'm going to stay in Poland just to keep things uniform, I guess. We're gonna have a look at Warsaw, not the Warsaw that I've been to in real life. We actually had to go to Modlin, I think it's called, and that's the kind of the low-cost airport. It's where your Ryanairs and your EasyJets are put over, cattled over to the other side of Warsaw, which is funny because it takes about an hour and a half in like a taxi or something like that to get into the centre. Warsaw Chopin, which is the one that we're going to have a look at, is the main airport. So this is like the home of LOT Polish, LOT Airlines, and you'd see Wizz there and stuff like that. So one big tip I can give you guys is, if you go into Warsaw, try and fly into Chopin, because you can get out the airport, get on one of the trams, and be straight into the city pretty fast. If it's still there as well, there's a really lovely diner called Jeff's. I think it's called Jeff's. It's lovely. It's like a really American diner. just on the outskirts of the airport. But anyway, what we're going to do is something a bit different. Again, I don't usually tend to do a lot of flying in these sort of scenery overviews, as you already know. Drzewiecki Design's in the chat. Incredible. Thank you so much, my friend, for coming in and just, you know, as I say, just being in here and saying hello. That's fantastic. I am sorry that I've missed these particular sceneries, as I said before, but I'm massive fan of yours, but also the past. I remember earlier on in the channel starting, I did a long review video for Renton Airport, and I think I did like a before and after split screen comparison for Washington Airport as well. Incredible work. Thank you so much for coming into the chat. Tom, good to see you. Evening. So we're going to start with Warsaw, Chopin, and we're going to land into there in the PC24, and then I will take you over to Katowice and have a look around. Katowice, I think, is actually just before the freeware one was out. I think this is the most up-to-date payware. I think Warsaw's not far behind. I think, in fact, if you go to Sim Market there, I think their products are actually in order of release by the looks of it. And also, obviously, it is worth pointing out that Drzewiecki Designs does also do sceneries like landmark packs. So you've actually got Washington and Krakow version 2 is already out, so that's just before Warsaw that we're taking a look at now, just after, sorry. So you got like Washington City pack, you've actually got Warsaw landmarks. I don't have that, which is a shame in this particular case. Obviously Painfield, Bowenfield, Renton, but after those you obviously had the likes of Gdansk, you had Tallinn. I think I have Tallinn, really, really good one, that one. Newark and stuff like that. So he's done a lot of work, and some obviously city packs as well. Let's attempt a landing here at a very, very cloudy Warsaw. I've been jumping in and out of the PC24 lately, and I want to just try and... I love me GA flying, as many of you already know, but I also want to try a couple of business jets, because, you know, we are getting business jets now. We are getting quite a few in the sim, which is great. Just over to the left there, haven't got a clue what that airfield is. It's a little general aviation one, but Warsaw, the city itself, is actually just over to the left there. I absolutely love Warsaw when we went. Really enjoyed it. We went to the Neon Museum, which is just basically a warehouse full of neon signs, but it was so cool. Went up to the science and I think what was called Science and History sort of museum building, massive building. I'm not great with heights. You think you can see it just off the left there, just poking up. Thank you, overspeed. Big big stuff there. We probably won't need that much flaps, actually, to be very honest. Warsaw City just there. So as you can see, Chopin isn't far at all. You can get a tram straight there, and the tram system in Warsaw is just as good as any other European city. And I say European city because UK ones actually, do you know what, tell a lie, Manchester's trams are actually pretty good. I think generally if your city's got trams, you're actually alright, because unlike buses, they can't really get stuck in traffic as such. But yeah, similar kind of experience for me in Warsaw with the public transport. Same as Czech Republic. And again, most of you know I've been to Czech Republic quite a number of times. But yeah, Drzewiecki, absolutely incredible developer, up there with the best in my opinion, and another developer who really does a fantastic job of doing complete airports, and what I mean by that is obviously not leaving bits out. We're coming in quite fast as well, guys. It should be a bit slower than this. And we've overcooked that, but it's not too bad, I guess. Also, me spoilers aren't coming out because I have got speed brakes here. I did have a key bind to the speed brakes. I also really need to get my Toby eye tracker back on somewhere, because right now it's just sitting there, and I've the mounting system for it. In all honesty, if you've got a curved monitor, they're not the best. They're not going to work very well on a curved monitor, if I'm going to be totally honest. But in these situations, when I'm doing any kind of flying, even regardless live stream or not, obviously Toby eye tracker in virtual reality, there's absolutely no point. But when I'm doing any kind of flying at all on a 2D screen, I think the Toby eye tracker is absolutely incredible. It really is. It's so much better. It's so much better than. Why can't I put that in? There we go. I hate using outside mode, but I'm not familiar with the airport at all anyway. I'm just going to park up here, and it's not going to be pretty, guys. I'm just going to park up, and as we normally do, I'm just going to head off into the drone camera and have a nice exploration around Drzewiecki Design's Warsaw. This is Chopin. I think I'm saying that right. Yeah, I had the same problem with curved monitor. I decided to put mine on top of the mesh Wi-Fi. Yeah, so I've seen someone quite cleverly. They've got the same thing as I do, but I can't turn it on. I'm trying to figure a way how to use this sort of small monitor that I've got, because I've decided to unplug that and put my second big monitor in, so I have got more screen real estate now. But someone cleverly mounted it to the top of their sort of portable monitor underneath the main monitor, which is quite a good idea. I might do that because it does make a bit. The Toby eye trackers when flying, when you're not in virtual reality, of course, there's just incredible. It makes it hard to use. You don't really need to use your camera movements anymore. But anyway, we are in Warsaw now, and we're going to have a good look around, because what I need to do in this live stream, I've got to be cautious because we are going to be given 2 airports. We're going to be going off to Katowice as well, but I do want to try and do my typical having a look around the whole of the airport. And as we were landing, as I say, I do kind of go off on little tangents, so I do apologize, guys, but I was saying that Drzewiecki Design is another developer who I think does complete airports, and you've heard me say that on the channel quite a few times. I don't mean that you know, everything is in there. I just mean that they've got the fundamentals right. You know, you've got your fencing, you've got every inch of the airport covered, most of the buildings, if not all of the buildings. So for example, he hasn't just stuck with the terminal and a few other bits. You know, you've got all the other little buildings. I'm not too sure what's happening with this one here. I saw this when I loaded in to get the thumbnail, but I'm not too sure. But yeah, he's done every other building. So in the airport boundaries, the aerodrome itself, every effort has been made to put every building in there. Now, obviously, it's not always easy for developers. I would say a large portion of developers tend to not go to the airport. For me, I can only really think of Any Builds and a couple of others. I know Burn and Blue Designs, even though they're a team of two, they actually, I think they go to all of their airfields because they're based in the UK, and it's pretty easy to get around the UK than say it is to Europe or the US, for example. And I still find it very, very astounding that developers who can't get to the airports still put this level of detail in there and use reference photos to the fullest potential. I also like when developers go ahead and do custom models of antennas and radars and all the bits of aviation equipment, antennas and stuff like that around the aerodrome. I think that also adds another level of immersion to it, that they haven't just simply used a default model for those models for those objects at the airport. They haven't just gone ahead and simply used the ones that could easily be placed inside there. They've actually gone ahead and modeled them, which they've done that in a separate program, and they've taken time to import that. And I've spoke to a couple of developers about how hard it is to even put things from Blender into it, because they don't just simply go over into the simulator. They break. I'll be honest, they can even show up in the developer's version of the sim, completely different to what you're seeing. I've known Liam from Persevering Scenery to actually message me and go, actually, that particular thing in my airport, it looks completely different and it's not loading in yours. So all I'll say is, guys, be very, very patient with developers. If there's an issue with things, there is a time to get angry at them. I don't always recommend getting angry at developers. Sometimes it is needed because they need to kick up the bum. But for little bug fixes and little things out of place, like, don't go screaming into a forum if there's a bloody gate floating in the air. Do you know what I mean? Go mad at them if they've charged you 15 quid and haven't completed an airport over 3 or 4 years, or you know what I mean. But even then, have a go at them in a nice manner. Anyway, need to shut up now because we're having a little look through. So yeah, all the cargo bay is all the cargo buildings, all fully modelled, custom as well, custom ground equipment as well. And by the way, performance is great, but there's a lot of ground equipment, so keep in mind that all this is here and it's an object, and we're still getting really good performance. I even we've got some trains on the track over here and an actual custom flyover, a custom bit of the dual carriageway going over there. You can turn things off and on, so all the static aircraft you are seeing in this live stream for both of the airports, I decided to keep in because I didn't want to toggle things off, because there's no point. You know what I mean? I want to show you the airport as it comes and everything that Drzewiecki has actually put into the airport sceneries. So if I turn things off and on, and then I go, oh, actually, by the way, guys, there's custom people, there's custom ground service equipment, there's custom vehicles and custom planes, but I can't show you that because I've turned it all off. I'd rather do it the other way. Sim Market is in the chat, guys. Massive thank you for coming in. I really, really appreciate it. You can actually see here as well. The one thing I love about Drzewiecki, and I noticed this in his freeware, even in his freeware, that if you enable your static planes, he will make the static planes a bit more immersive. So you'll see steps, you'll see passengers getting on there, you will see cargo being loaded into there. It's not animated, but it's there. And also as well, I do believe he adds in quite a lot of custom sound files into various things, indoor and outdoor as well, which again is fantastic. The level of immersion is great. You do get interiors for some of the lesser buildings. You are getting sort of the parallaxed, thing. I do like parallax stuff, 2D kind of. It gives you a sense of an interior when there's not one there, and it does actually look a lot nicer at night. I must admit, it just seems a bit more. Do you know what I mean? But even so, it looks fantastic in the daytime as well. I have turned the sort of the recently I've been doing it loads, but turning the months up to summertime. I know it doesn't look like summer at the minute with the clouds, but yeah. Yeah, there's some trains and carts and cargo trains along the tracks here. And then obviously a custom bridge as well, which is all full. And this is all before we've even got to the main terminal, the main apron as well, which is just amazing. Modeling and texturing is always really, really great by Drzewiecki. And by the way, guys, I will let you know that obviously Sim Market, partners to the channel, fantastic guys. Absolutely love them because they've supported the channel on loads of live streams and other things as well. They did send me these so I could show you. I haven't actually spoken to Drzewiecki. This isn't a case of I'm bigging his work up. It will sound like that. But after seeing his freeware, I think it is important that developers who are doing this kind of work and giving back to the community, and generally just fantastic developers, not just fantastic in the work, but fantastic as a person. We try and share their work as much as possible. I'm not too sure what's going on here. I think that building looks like it's sunk into the I don't know. It's either that it's sunk into the ground, or is it like... I don't know. I haven't got a clue. Anyway, as I say, we do have to keep an eye on the time as well, because I think out of the two of the airports, this is definitely the biggest. There is a sort of I think this might still be cargo, but there is a few sort of general aviation / business jet aprons around Warsaw. I'm probably going to have to do a bit of zigzagging here, so what we'll do is we'll go over to the control tower. This has got 2 runways, and then we'll make our way around the edge here, because there's a couple of buildings over here, and then circle back and get to obviously the main bit of the airport. But yeah, so far performance absolutely fantastic. The reason why I've put the sort of the title in the thumbnail, are these the best Polish airports in the simulator? I'll be totally honest, I don't know if there's any other Polish payways available. I'm sure there probably is, but I'm simply asking the question whether are these the best Polish airports, because obviously Drzewiecki does actually do more Polish airports, Krakow, Gdansk, and a couple of others, I think. I love the way we can still hear that PC-24's engines. I really need to turn them off, don't I? So, control tower, let's have a little look-ski. We love trains. I just think it's lovely that there's extra details in and around the airport. This explains more what I mean about complete airport. It's not just, the control tower, the terminal, the apron. It's the addition of all the other things, surrounding points of interest, surrounding buildings. You've done the very, very most that you can do, including everything into that airport that is there. And that's what I love, because especially if I've seen an airport before in real life, that's why I'm always critical about seeing anything that is done at Manchester or Liverpool, and I'm like, have they included that? Please let them include them. So it'll be the same for people who fly from Warsaw regularly, who work at Warsaw, who know it, who know it well, and now looking at this airport and going, yeah, he's got it absolutely spot on. Sadly, I can't make that assumption, but I'm positive that Drzewiecki's done very, very well with this one. This looks like a little, is it, I want to say an AN, it's not an AN12, because that's a double, that's a quad prop. AN26, AN24, something like that. Love Drzewiecki's cadence, all the others as well. I haven't seen it. I'll have a look at it in due course, definitely. I had to pick two for a live stream, because this will probably take us over our usual sort of time frame. I tell you what, the control tower building, not just the control tower building itself, but the actual, the offices and things around it are beautifully textured and modelled. You can actually see the little bits of dirt between the sort of the tile. I think it's a tile building, but you've also got your cameras, your actual down lighted lights as well. Interestingly, to see if they've actually got lights in them. That's cool. Yeah. This is what we do on this channel, guys, is that we don't just look at the buildings from above. We're gonna get right down, and we're gonna see that these lights are actually emitting lights. Let's have a look at the control tower. Lovely beacon lights up the top there, some anti-collision lights rather. And I tell you what, the lighting on this, even with the parallax, the 2D, really, really nice. I'll try and be better with me night lighting, because I know I'm terrible. At least showing it off. AN2, there we go. Yeah, I wasn't far off. It was an answer. I'm glad I've got an answer off. We get the AN12 cargo plane coming right over Liverpool on its way to Belfast. Near enough daily. Absolutely lovely lovely sound. It comes over at about 22,000 feet. Fantastic sounds. I do love a good control tower. Modelled control tower, and this is no exception, this one. Lovely stuff. And look at this. And we've got the sounds again. Can't hear it over the piece. Do you know what? I'm sorry, guys. Sorry. How do we turn this thing off? I'm not quite there fully with the I'm not quite there yet with the PC24. Is that it? I took the cowards way out, guys. I apologise. There we go.
T31 for X-ray, roger. 3495, got a 65, thanks. Both inside for got 5567. 5567, roger. I'll return here in about a half mile or a mile. Awesome. 5567, turn left.
Get off your phone, mate. You should be working. He's on WhatsApp. God's sake. Drzewiecki Design's dream team. There you go.
Flying 231 for X-ray, Roger. 3495, got it.
Fantastic. And what I pointed out in the freeway video, guys, is that his sounds are fantastic, but actually the sound proximity, so the actual where everything is playing from, it actually is really good. You're not going to hear the sounds sort of in a stupid proximity, like I don't know how to sort of explain it, but where the sound placement is great. It works really well. There we go, guys. Lovely. I don't know the history or anything about that, but those kids are taking that really well, because that is nightmare fuel. Like, I apologize, it's supposed to be very, very innocent for the children, but if that came up to me, when I was, even now, if that came down in a dark alleyway, he looks nicer. He's fantastic. Love him. I don't know if that's a Drzewiecki Designs thing or it's actually something they've got in Warsaw Tower. But yeah, love that control tower. Very, very nicely modelled and textured. Let's carry on. We've even got a radar sort of, I don't know. Got a few bits there. Let me have a look at, guys, because I want to just have a look on the page for Warsaw. So you can get a GSX Pro file for this, and it is it's actually linked in the page for it on Sim Market, so they're linked below in the video, in the stream description, or again, obviously, if you guys are watching afterwards, in the video description. Custom animations, 3D people, sound, static aircraft and vehicles, and it is obviously fully compatible with Drzewiecki Design's Warsaw landmarks, which, by the way, guys, I'd probably fully recommend, because this is how close you are to Warsaw. You do have some things already in there. I'm assuming this is probably from one of the world updates, but obviously that is the science, what's it called? It's the Science and Some Go Rudder Museum. I've been right to the top of that. No, thank you, but it was pretty cool. But again, I would fully recommend getting the landmark pack if you are interested in this one. We have something kind of familiar called Moomins. Yeah, you know the Moomins in Finland. We had them on in the UK. The Moomins were a thing in the UK as well. It's obviously come from Finland, but yeah, no, we had them in the UK for sure. Yeah, and the teddy bear looked like it, the Moomin. Yeah, it did, yeah. We got some Embraers here. Without some... ailerons, back ailerons, what are they? I should really know this. The proper name for them. Who are they? But again, lovely use of custom aircraft. The building models and the actual texturing on Drzewiecki stuff is really amazing. Again, I point this out with not just Drzewiecki, but others, that the buildings, when they're modelled and textured, they just don't look flat. You know, they're not. They don't look new. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, there's dirt underneath here. There's actual depth to it. So again, what I mean by this is that you've got the windows have actually been, you know, not inserted. You know what I mean? They're sort of in the building here. That it's just not it's not a row of 2D windows, which again others might do. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But you know, to keep things really, really realistic with these buildings, it's good to see, you know, AC units, cameras, lights. Do you know what I mean? It makes everything a bit more convincing. And again, you know, developers have got a certain expectation. Like I said before, you know, I have certain expectations of when Innie Builds release Liverpool Airport. You know, I'm going to be looking at that, going, just how much have they done? Is it going to be as much as Manchester? Probably not, but it'll be the same for Drzewiecki. It'll be the same for every developer. There's going to be a lot of people who fly from Warsaw and Katowice, work there, like I said before, who are going to look at this and go, yeah, he's got it spot on there. Or, you know, can you add this in? You forgot this. Personally, I'd really, really hate that as a developer, but it'd be, you know, a nice bit of constructive criticism to a point. I mean, look at that. We are getting a little bit of a sneak peek at the lighting over the terminal there. That looks fantastic, doesn't it? But you know what? I've had a little fiddle with the scenery editor already on 2024, and I'm really, really, I was really into the idea of making some little custom sceneries. Look at this. We've got actual plane spotters here. Look at this. Now, I know Prague Airport's got a couple of these around the perimeter. I've not been to them, unfortunately. But this is what I really like to see at Liverpool, and south side at Manchester. Nothing major, nothing like obviously Manchester's got the official runway viewing park, you know, the Concorde in the hangar, the gift shop, toilets, cafes, you know. But over on the south side, Manchester hasn't got anything like this, and this is all we really need. And at Liverpool, all right, Liverpool's really not busy, but just you know, a concrete step, a mound, a concrete, you know, a concreted barriered area with some seats. This is fantastic, and also as well, by the way, this just even this as itself is nicely modelled and textured. The benches are really, really good. Look at that. Oh my God, you can. That's great, and he's even got a spy one. I tell you what, I want one of those. High vis with spotter on it. I tell you what, that's a good Canon camera model. I think that's the Rebel, isn't it? The EOS Rebel. Lovely stuff. Love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. Another radar site here, and these will have proper names, guys. I do apologize that I'm not labeling them correctly, but again, just on the sort of the edge of the airport itself, some long stay car parks presumably. Again, this looks like an actual custom bit of road, a flyover as we call them in the UK. Definitely is. Definitely not a default bit of road. And then we've got we've got a big little, a big little, a big little, and some great. Again, this is what I like to see. This is when I know the developer is doing their job right. Is when they've put their, you know, their runway threshold landmarks or their surrounding scenery in there. Because let's face it, for me, okay, as a developer, if you're not going to put anything at the side of the airport, that's sound. But when you are approaching or departing an airport in a flight simulator and you are creating the very best scenery you want to do, I know this is me going, it should be in there. I don't mean that. I mean, if you're considering doing an airport to a very high standard and take the time to do it, the beginnings and the ends of runways, if obviously they do have buildings, some airports, many airports are just end-to-end fields, you know, that is the case. But if it's, you know, urban surroundings, urban try and get in as much thing as you can, you know. You got a DPD warehouse there, you've got a Lidl. That's actually a big Lidl. It's quite a big Lidl. It's not a little Lidl. Decathlon there. Lovely stuff. And then just even more. And I must say it is nicely blended into the auto gem round here. So Warsaw isn't a photogrammetry city by the looks of it, but Drzewiecki has done a great job at blending his custom models in with the surrounding models, which can also be a real bad immersion killer, in my opinion, especially if there's photogrammetry and custom buildings have been added in, and then the whole color tone doesn't look great, you know. Obviously got some airport buildings here as well, so it just all looks fantastic. If you are enjoying the live stream, guys, if you're re-watching or watch it now, please do leave a like, share the stream even if you are watching afterwards as well, because I do make them available to watch afterwards for you guys and people who are interested to see more scenery close up. And look at that, there's an Airbus. I didn't know, defense and space. Oh, okay, I didn't know Warsaw had that. Got a lovely Saab in front of a Tanga here. There we go, look at that. Lovely stuff. Love to see it. There's actually a business jet sort of apron here, and we have got an open hangar, so let's have a little look. I am cautious about the time as well. Again, like I said, the static aircraft, for me, they're not just static. The models are great, the quality of them, but also Drzewiecki does go above and beyond. He'll open doors, he'll put cars, he'll put steps, he'll make the static aircraft look more immersive. And look at that, we've even got a lady welcome the rich passengers onto the flight. I think that's great. I love that. And you know what? This has actually got a... Wow, okay. Okay. Fair enough. I mean, if you're going to use static models, this is what you do, isn't it? Just... Lovely stuff. There you go. And then let's have a little look at this, because I tell you what, I do love a good hangar. How have I missed this one? Who? Drzewiecki. Custom sounds. People working on the engines. Incredible. Over the Learjet here as well, with an interior that we can go into. Alright, the interiors aren't absolutely hyper realistic, the texturing, but it's not meant for that, is it? Look at this is a hangar. Do you know what? I really want to see more hangar interiors. The Boeing hangar in eBuild's Gatwick is fantastic. That is one of the best I've seen. Now, the only other thing I want to check on this is the night lighting. And if he's nailed the night lighting on this, this is one of my new favorites. We don't get many nicely modeled hangars in the simulator. Oh, yes. 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 That is stunning. Absolutely incredible. Absolutely stunning. Wow. Okay. Okay. Is that what we're doing? Brilliant. And again, this that, for example, for me is a good reason why when I'm doing these live streams is that I obviously have to set them up. I do have to go into the scenery and load it up to get, you know, thumbnails. You know, I don't like to spend a lot of time in there because I don't want to see every inch of the airport, and that's a good example because I did know that was there, and it was a good surprise, a lovely surprise. And I know in general, I think people, when they see sorts of previews of airports before they're released, they don't want to see everything. That's probably where I would say my streams aren't really good for you in that case, because I do tend to show everything, but also could be a good thing for people if they are looking at a particular airport and want to know what it looks like and whether it's good, you know. Ford and Mazda and Suzuki dealership just on the threshold of the runway here. Again, lots of custom points of interest. Toyota dealership. We got Citroen and Peugeot. BP garage. All in close proximity to the terminal and the runway. And again, performance is great. I think in general my sim just is a stutter fest anyway, but it's been fantastic on this scenery. Loads of custom cars, objects. There's a lot in there, you know, which could cause most sceneries to completely flatline. I do again need to keep an eye on the time. So we'll make our way over now. But as you guys can see, there is a lot going on. Lots of ground equipment, lots of vehicles, a lot of vehicles, not just the aircraft, but the cars, the trucks, the coaches, and all the custom buildings. Have we got another hangar interior here? No, but it's a lovely looking hangar, lovely modelled hangar. Lovely stuff. Again, the aircraft can be turned on and off if you'd like, if you are using some AI traffic solution. More sort of outbuildings here that have got sort of the 2D parallaxed interior to them, just to give them a bit more depth, which is great. And a plethora of different sorts of offices, and obviously the lot office as well. There's a lot hangar as well. Looks like we do have an interior to that, which just looks insane. There's definitely an aircraft in there. Maybe LOT's headquarters. I'm not too sure. I'd imagine it is. There's a lucky cat outside. Oh, I tell you what. Another beautifully modelled building. Look at that. Lovely stuff. Lots of buildings, absolutely, just so many. We started over there, you know, all the way back there. Well, don't do that. All the way over there. I don't think we had a look at those, but now we are in the sort of the home stretch, because we have to be, because we've got to go over to Katowice and have a look at that as well. Maybe I should have just done one airport. There we go. We've got some LOT Airlines aircraft, Dreamliners, 737 MAX aircraft, 737-800, and then another Dreamliner in the hangar. Oh, hello. Here we go. Here's another one for you. Look at this. Oh my goodness. Again, custom sounds. Aircraft are open. Look at that. Now, this doesn't surprise me. It's fantastic, but it doesn't surprise me because obviously Drzewiecki did the Boeing factories, and obviously the work he did there has accumulated into what we've seen here. The sounds, the intricate work of the hangars, and you know, everything's moving. The people are moving. You've got, you know, people working on the aircraft. It's not just, you know what I mean? It's not just static people and aircraft just there. The aircraft have got a purpose. The doors are open, there's cranes on them, there's tools around them. The models themselves are some of the best I've seen. I don't think I've seen static models actually this nice in the sim. Absolutely incredible. And the glass and the steel work is just really amazing as well. Great work. Great work. And then for the other hangars that don't have, you know, an interior to them, the 2D parallax sort of effect here working fantastically well. Look, the lighting, the night lighting's gorgeous. Some of the best you'll see. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I don't think he'll mind me saying, but Drzewiecki, and obviously I don't know the team Drzewiecki's got, but I don't think they'll mind me saying, but I think since sort of Washington and Renton, I think the work has gone even better. The evolution, you know, and again, you know, that's what we strive for, isn't it? We want to prove over and over again. Certainly for me, if I go back to watch some of my first videos on YouTube, have a look at the reviews and stuff. I didn't even live stream back then, but some of the you know, the videos that I was making, reviews and stuff like that, the camera work was shocking. You know, I mean, it's not so great on a live stream, but you know, obviously it's not pre-recorded, so I can't really do any kind of fancy movements with the camera. But it'll be the same for developers. You know, they'll want to make sure that their modeling is constantly evolving and texture work is getting better. They'll discover new techniques to use, and I know they don't mind me saying, but it's For me, me looking at this compared to something like Renton and Boeing, it is, you know, it's the improvements is great, but that's not to say that Renton and Washington and others aren't great. They're fantastic. You know, you can just see the evolution of what's going on. Look at this like sort of little hangar, just, you know, like it's from a little airfield, you know, but it's just here, and it's got the Polish Air Ambulance Learjet with, again, it's you know, it's easy for developers just to do this, you know, have a hangar. Some might not even put an interior to the hangar. They could put a Learjet there, but they might not put the livery in there. They certainly might not put the ambulance or even the tow truck, and they probably never would put the sick person coming out of it. Creating a little scene, do you know? More custom sounds as well, you know, and I mean you got the Renaissance Hotel, you've got the terminal, and I'm running out of time. I mean, look at the terminal. Look at that. Carl, good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. As you can see, Carl, I have took the liberty of diving into some of the Drzewiecki stuff that I've missed, and I'm a little bit stunned, especially with the interior of those hangars in Warsaw. But look at the interior of the airport now. Just something straight away that I'll note, that is there's so much going on here. You've got the glass work, you've got the steel work, you've got the sign, but then in front of that you've got like maybe a steel mesh or some kind of mesh in front of the windows. Like, this isn't just a one sort of depth building. There's so much going on, and it boggles to think the modeling that developers do, and obviously Drzewiecki here. Insane stuff. I also noticed there was I think there's like maybe a Polish political sort of aircraft here. 737, maybe 800 by the looks of it. Again, the static models, all the models that Drzewiecki uses here are beautiful. They really are. I don't even know where to start here because there's just so much going on. And I'm sorry, I'll say it again, but the static aircraft aren't just static aircraft put into this airport to make it feel alive. They are, but he hasn't just put it in as a static aircraft. He's put it in as a seed. It's attached to the jetway. It's got its baggage going on. It's not just aircraft sitting on each stand doing nothing. There's actually stuff going on. He's created a scenario for each one, which again is just fantastic work. We would usually just be absolutely fine with, there's an aircraft at a gate. It makes the airport feel a lot more alive. It's more than that. And I've also just noticed he's actually put a Emirates 777-10 in there with its wings folded. Coincidentally, my two favourite Drzewiecki airports. I haven't even got to Katowice either yet. I have been there to do the thumbnail for the video, but I haven't had a good look around it, and I'm just getting into Warsaw now. I said at the start I have actually been to Warsaw, lovely city, but we were not as fortunate to fly into Chopin. We had to go to Modlin, which, you know, has got about 5 gates, and yeah, it's not like this. This is just fantastic. It really is. I love seeing that we've got a 777X here, by the way. That's pretty cool. Let's have a little look at night lighting. I love that when we get that sort of golden hour sunlight coming. You can kind of get where are we? You can kind of get it briefly. There we go. Look at that. Let's have a little look. Yeah, I mean, night lighting's fantastic. Night lighting is gorgeous. We've even actually got lights on the aircraft as well. Again, for these sceneries, I've linked them in the description, in the stream or video description whenever you're watching this. Highly recommend Warsaw. Warsaw, you obviously can do international flights. Beautiful work. I haven't got Warsaw City, mate, unfortunately. Probably should have, but I'm having trouble getting to the second airport in this live stream. So I'm trying my best to. We've spent about an hour at Warsaw, which is, I was trying to do an hour in each airport, and Katowice is a tiny bit smaller, so we can afford to spend a bit more time in here. We'll have to, because we haven't seen any of the interior, and as you can see, there's a hell of a lot of it, but I haven't got the Warsaw City. I will need to get it, mate, because like I said a bit earlier on, if you are gonna get this, I would recommend getting the city pack, because you don't get much with the world updates. I think you only get possibly the science building. I don't like calling it the science building. It's got a bigger word. I went up it, like I say, I went up it. It's quite high building. It doesn't look like it is, but it really is. I also did the stadium tour, the national stadium tour. That was fantastic. I really enjoyed that. It's actually right in the center, this building. That Neon Museum's changed location by the looks of it. That's or it's a different one. It's the Palace of Culture and Science. Sorry guys, I apologize, but literally there's a massive big shopping center right next to it. Zloty Tarisi, I think that's how you say it. But yes, if you are interested in this airport, then definitely consider getting the city pack, because it's visible, you know, it's visible on approach, on departing the airport as well, regardless actually of what runway you're on. It's going to be visible. It's just fantastic, isn't it? Look at this. I don't know if that's maybe a visitor's tower, like a spotting tower that you can go in as a passenger. If it is, then I really would like to go here. Let's have a little look inside here, because this looks stunning, doesn't it? Custom sounds straight off the bat. Again, there he is again, Carl. He gets around, this guy. He does, he gets around. The gate, again, look at the gate. Look at the gate design. You'll also notice Drzewiecki hasn't just put the static aircraft in with scenarios like being loaded and stuff. You can actually also see pilots in there. You can also see that the flight is actually a Dubai bound flight, and it has actually got the Emirates plane sitting right there. It's fantastic, a bit of detail, easily missed. This is just lovely work. And you'll notice the static passengers, they're not the most high fidelity. The animated ones are a lot nicer looking. The static ones, yeah, I mean, you know, they'll give you nightmares, but this is where I will cut some slack, because again, this is not about the detail. This is about being in your aircraft right here in this lovely Qatar Dreamliner and seeing all the passengers and seeing these people walking past. And by the way, you can hear the ATC in the Qatar plane. It's fantastic. But also as well, I think you've also got to look at the visual fidelity of the airport interior as well. The shops, the passenger, the departure boards, the gates. The fact that the ticket scanning machines are there. There's a keypad on here. You've got the actual branded baggage measurement trays there. And it's just an insanely massive, as in... Wait, look at this. Right, I'm taking my daughter to Warsaw Airport so she can, she can play on the Lot Airlines plane. That's cool. I love it. And again, it's included in the scenery. And everything is there. Beautiful stuff. Show your love in the chat for Drzewiecki, guys. I know Drzewiecki Designs was in the chat before. But again, massive thank you to them and the Sim Market as well, because this is what I love to do on the channel. I love to get into these sceneries, regardless if they've got an interior to them, if they've whatever. I love to have a look around it, and this is just it's the full airport, isn't it? I mean, it's just, yeah. I'm gonna have to have a little drink of me fake Dr. Pepper. Unbelievable. And now we're in landside with all the check-in desks, people waiting at the check-in desks, more kids' playgrounds. Just incredible. People sitting in Costa Coffee, people sitting on top of Costa Coffee as well. And I tell you what, the fact that we've just, the frame rate and stability of the scenery is just oh, I mean, that is just incredible. It's fantastic, it's stunning, but my favorite still is just the hangars, the interior to those hangars. And the thing is, I follow Drzewiecki on all social media, and I have done for a long time now, and I've seen him working on different things. I've seen him working on different airports, and I've seen some of these things before, and unfortunately screenshots just don't, I mean, I would say even just seeing it on a stream and a video isn't going to do it. It's when you get down there and you're able to use the drone camera to look at that, the scale and the depth of the airport. Just, you've got things going on down below, you've got things up above, you've got hotels, and we've still got Katowice to visit, and I'm sure it's going to be equally as stunning. Oop, I don't know what happened to my PC, but I'm back. It's alright, mate. Good thing is you can obviously rewind it or rewatch some bits as well. But if you're wondering if I recommend this, absolutely. Absolutely. You for this one, obviously if you're flying airliners, it don't matter on the location, you are going to have a route. You're going to have a lot of options. I mean, if you look at this right now, count the amount of objects, you know, there's an insane amount of ground objects and clutter going on here. Not to mention the car park's full of cars. Incredible stuff, really is. We've also got like a little balcony going across here as well. Lovely stuff. I love this. And look at this as well. It's like a, I don't know, is maybe airport operations up the top here with an interior as well. They've definitely got a lovely view up here, haven't they? I mean, those monitors, look how look how high quality the monitors are. And there's actually someone who put the coat up there. That's a lovely little bit of detail, isn't it? Someone's high-vis jacket on the back of the desk. And no, guys, I'm not saying buy this because there's a high-vis on the back of a chair. I'm simply saying that the level of detail included in the scenery is some of the best, if not up there, you know, right to the top. It's the whole airport. I honestly, I want to. No word of a lie, I actually want to book a flight to go to this airport and see just how spot on it is. We've even got moving escalators as well. Something again you very rarely see. It's an odd thing to see, but escalators in sceneries, they're always usually static. And I know there's a couple of guys who are now doing animated lifts in their sceneries, Pyrigi being one. But it honestly looks like every bit of this interior has been done. Unbelievable. You could honestly go through the whole thing and just more sounds as well. The use of sounds as well. It's not just a quick put a sound in and get it all working. It's been thought. It's been done thoughtfully. It's been done with precision. And also as well, these animated people, I've noticed they seem to walk back on themselves, so they don't do the walk into one end and disappearing from what I've seen. I've seen that in a few sceneries. It's not a deal breaker at all, but it's something I've noticed. It's one continuous loop. Relay there. Prague Airport's got relay. Unbelievable. Really, really top class stuff. And sadly, that is the end of Warsaw. I know we have got a couple of buildings over here, but I really want to get over to Katowice and have a look at that as well. Just some more sort of outbuildings along the airport's perimeter by the looks of it, some petrol stations and more hotels and offices and bloody gorgeous stuff. Absolutely lovely. I'm gonna have to spend some time doing some screenshots in here, I think. Yeah, I would definitely, guys, if you are interested in this, I have linked it in the description below, but I would, if obviously your funds are able to, I would go for the landmarks pack for Warsaw, because it will go fantastically with this airport. I'm gonna open the pack, the Warsaw link up now. I'm just gonna pop that in there for you guys. A lot of options, a pun in there somewhere. I would say it's a little pun, isn't it? But there's a lot of options. it's just incredible, Carl. Absolutely incredible. Again, another sad thing is this is why it's such an expensive hobby, isn't it? You know, we've got the sim itself, we've got aircrafts, we've got sceneries, we've got hardware. It's never ending. But the scenery pack, it looks gorgeous. The stadium I've been to in real life, I can definitely say that looks fantastic. I think Drzewiecki also as well, again, just to inflate his head even more, inflate his ego anymore. I think one of the best in sort of landmark packs as well. The modelling is really nice as well. Both stadiums in Warsaw as well. The National Stadium looks very nicely done. Could definitely go and have a look at that one, guys. We're gonna go over to Katowice now. Katowice, and have a look at that. This one being, I believe, Drzewiecki's latest payware. I think this was after Sydney. I'm going to have a look at that now. So that is south of Warsaw, I think. No, where is it? Where is it? I think I'm ballparking right, I think. Oh, okay. I'm wrong. I thought it was... Hang on. Why did I say it was south? No, that's not right, is it? Yeah, that... Sorry, guys, yeah. I'm questioning... I'm double-checking, thinking myself here. Is it south of Warsaw? Is that Warsaw there? Yeah, it is south. Sorry, guys. I'm southwest. Anyway, get on with it, Brian. Doesn't matter where it is. So again, comes with static. You can actually see the static aircraft already on the ramp. Quite a big ramp as well. Let's park the PC-24 up there. Get ourselves over to our last scenery of the day. As I say, guys, please keep an eye on the channel. I've got more live streams coming up. We also have the release of Innie Build Dallas Fort Worth coming soon. I will have a pre-release stream for that, and I also believe a giveaway for that as well. If you're interested, just keep an eye on Discord and social media, and obviously YouTube as well. I will be doing a little, not a little look, but an in-depth look at Dallas as well, and obviously more live streams. And you'll be happy to know that I've actually started editing the first, or at least the second episode of my freeware series called Don't Pay, which the first episode was out a while back now. We've got animated trains. Look at that. Animation's really nice and smooth, and the train model's really good as well. Lovely to see it. Absolutely gorgeous animated train there. But yeah, I've started editing it up. We've got all the footage for them now, so I am now currently editing 4 new episodes. 2 of those airports, 2 of those are going to be bush airstrip focused as well. All freeware, and that'll be a nice little constant flow of videos for the next month and a half or so, 2 months. I will stagger them just so you guys can have a look at those freewares, and you might discover some more that you've never seen before, because that is the idea. Let's make it a bit sunny over in the south-ish of. Mind you, that's a bit bright. Let's just leave it there. Little sunlight coming through there. But yeah, the editing process have started for that, so I can't wait to share some more freeware stuff with you guys, because payware is fantastic, but you know, when you discover some lovely freeware gems, that's really nice to discover. So again, in terms of size of the airport here, you know, it's maybe even quarter of the size of Warsaw, but no less detailed, I can only imagine. Some actual custom roadways, bridges heading off over the motorway. We've even got, look at this, is this all the way just a bit further out of the airport? We've actually got a few little outbuilding sheds for the actual snow plows, which, as you can imagine, this part of the world does get snow. I do hate the notion of, especially us in the UK, people will always have a moan and go, oh, a bit of snow stopped the country and stuff, and it's like, and then they'll make that sort of weird remark, oh, you know, if this was, you know, Canada or somewhere in Austria or whatever, you know, they'll still be, you know, buses and trains and planes are still running. You know, they can handle it, and it's like, yeah, but they've lived with it. Do you know what I mean? That their country have adapted to it. England we don't get snow as half as much, and you know, at the depth and the snowfall that those countries get. That's why those guys can deal with it. You know what I mean? But we're not trained to do that. We don't need to. We're not prepared to fight snow every other day. It just doesn't work like that. So it's a bit of a throwaway comment when we get like, oh, we can't handle this, we can't handle that. I know we can't handle it because we don't really handle it. You know. So anyway, just where my brain went then. Let's have a little look around here, because as I say, I've only really been here to get the thumbnails. So let's go around again the same direction. We'll have a little look. Obviously, we haven't got much to see as we did before, but runway taxiway. That's one thing I didn't really look at mostly, guys. I do apologise. I did have a look at the night lighting, but ground textures and runway textures was something I completely missed out at Warsaw, so I do apologise. You could still see them though, and building quality and everything. The quality of it's fantastic, so I don't think we're going to have any disappointments here. It does look like the airport's had a... Maybe, I don't know if it's another runway, or at least they had some other... Like this here, this looks like an original runway, or it had a second parallel runway at one point. No, this is like, it says taxiway over here in big letters. Almost like if the plane's going to land on there, there's a taxiway sign say it's not a runway, it's a taxiway. But it also does look like over here we did have some kind of diagonal taxiway or even runway back in the day. Yeah, definitely. I can only imagine the airport did serve a military purpose at some point along the line, down the line. But yeah, I am on Discord, guys. It is linked in the stream description, or everything is basically linked up. Video descriptions, the stream descriptions, all my social media in Discord. And if you do know of any recommendations on any payware that I can take a look at, or freeware, the channel did start on sort of freeware focused videos, payware reviews, before and after comparisons. I'd like to get back into those, visual comparisons, to show you guys what an airport looks like before installing scenery, whether that's payware or freeware, or even a visual comparison of two of the same airport. I was thinking about doing a couple, to be fair, because a lot of developers are doing the same airport. So some kind of visual comparison between developers' airports. Now I think this is an Antonov 26B. I think this one is, because Liverpool sometimes gets a AN26 doing cargo runs, and it does look like that. If not, maybe an Antonov 20. Not an Antonov 24, because Antonov 24 is the bigger one, isn't it? It's like the jumbo jet size one. Oh no, that's a 224. I think it's a 26B, I think. But definitely either abandoned aircraft or still operational as military. Doesn't look like there's any kind of military presence here. I know there was at the freeway, Warsaw Radom. I think we're gonna say it Radom because I kind of want to say random for some reason, but there's no R in it. Making our way round. Let's have a little look. You see some outer fences and gates are all here as well. I don't know, I've always had this thing about airport perimeter fence, and the illusion of the airport goes away when the whole airport is open. I know some airports in the US kind of are just sort of open. Parts of obviously Amsterdam's runways aren't fenced off; they're just surrounded by water. So let's have a little look here. So that's our sort of main apron here at Katowice. You'll notice that there's two ATC towers. I don't know which one's the active one or anything, but there's one here and there's one down by the terminal itself, and a couple of hangars. So we'll move our way along here. Custom signage as well on the grounds, where the service vehicles are moving in and out. Again, modelling and texturing on these are spot on, like really, really crisp and clear. Like very clear, because you're only going to start seeing the zigzags when you get right in close. Very lovely work. And again, it's probably nothing you're going to see if you're not a person who explores the airport like me. That'll just be a blare as you go past in the aircraft. AN24 is correct. It's the commercial version, version of the 26. 124 is the bigger one. There we go. And the 225 is the massive one. Fully agree on the perimeter fence. And you know what, Carl? I never thought it was just sort of my sort of odd little thing about airports, but I do think, especially when there's smaller airports as well, where it's very visible. I just have this as a restricted aerodrome, and just generally the amount of work that developers go through to create this complete scenery, as I say many a times, probably about 400 on this live stream alone. But yeah, there's a couple of payware airports I've seen, and I say a couple, there's a lot of payware airports that I've seen where the developers have done this really lovely, high quality job of the terminal and the main body of the airport, and then the general aviation part of it, or even the military side. I know that's not always easy with the lack of reference material for military places, but they're completely just not there. There's been no effort to do it, and I just hate it. I don't like it. Here's another dedicated spotting area. Again, these European airports seem to just excel at this, and I don't. Here in the UK, we're just no good at these spotting areas. Again, you know, I don't think there's actually a dedicated place at Heathrow. I think they have a place over on the north side near to. I'm trying to think. North side being on the 27 right side of Heathrow. I think there's like a building there with like a balcony, which might be a dedicated place, but not like things like this. And I've seen many. Munich, I've got some. Frankfurt, I've got quite a few. Again, Prague, I've got quite a few of these little sort of elevated positions. In the UK, we're just Manchester's got the viewing field, but again, there's so many other locations around Manchester Airport that could have something like this in. We're not great in the UK at allowing spotters to have places, but, and again, a little controversial maybe, I think some airports, I think they just do it because of the fear of them getting trashed, and that is a thing that I think might be the case, is that the airport officially makes something, or you know, a body that's associated with the airport, and they go ahead and have funds for it, and then, you know, yobs and hoodies and, you know, scoundrels go and mess it up for the people who want to use it. But as an actual spot location, this is a good one, especially for this runway. Arrivals and departures. Good stuff. Love to see that. Let's make our way round again. Perimeter fence there. It's quite hard to see it. It's quite sort of, yeah. It is there though. A lovely amount of static aircraft. Again, fully scenarioed up. There's things going on around them. Sounds, again, I would imagine. These can be turned off as well, just so you guys know. Vehicles and people and aircraft can be turned off. I've kept them on for the sake of the video because, well, I want to show you them. Oh, look at this. Hey. Look at this. The railway track fully modelled, with all fuel tanks heading into the airport. How far has he mapped it? Let's have a little look. Let's have a little invest just to there. But it's still modelled. It's still modelled. Actually, up to the main track itself, which again is modelled with the animated train on it as well. Fantastic work. Love to see it. Just so intricate and detailed. I just hate that. I'll be honest, it's what I needed, but the year and a half away from, actually not just away from YouTube, but from the simulator, even just a year and a half actually away from the computer. My computer wasn't turned on much. It was, yeah, it wasn't at all. And this is one thing that I really regret from that time away, was missing some airports out. I didn't miss this one. This was just one that I just couldn't get hold of originally. But just in general, the time away from it, missing some releases, but it's definitely what I needed. So anyway, quality in vehicles is good too. Love to see the trucks being so, yeah, they really are. Let's have a little look at what the night lighting looks like in this area, just so we can see. Yeah, no surprise to me that obviously the level of detail in this one is similar to Warsaw. If not, we're getting even better and better as as Drzewiecki evolves his work, and again, find new techniques, new ways to model, new ways to implement lighting and textures. And obviously 2024 itself, the fact that the ground apron, taxiway, runway textures are overhauled, and they're just so much nicer, and the night lighting has gotten even better. But again, the developer still needs to implement it in a way that looks good. And well, you're seeing it right now, aren't you? The work here is lovely, and you can see a lot of anti-collision lights all the way along these buildings. Let's flick it back over to the daytime. Lovely bit of light coming through there. Let's move along. See what I mean? We've got a cargo 767 here being loaded up. Warsaw cargo. Custom sounds as well. PMG need to sort out their texture on their ground vehicles. They really poor. They look like yeah. Although, wouldn't you just use GSX, or is it not? Is it not compatible? Well, another of their textures are great, even the ones. Yeah, I mean, I didn't bother. I have the PMDG. I think I've got 600, 700, and 800. I haven't actually paid for any of the upgrade fees, guys. I don't fly airliners enough to warrant doing it, and to be quite honest, it's another one of those paid upgrades, and it's on the steeper side of things. That I've heard it doesn't extend all the way through. Not when you compare, and we're looking at some of the cabin textures and stuff here, aren't we, on the new PMG upgrade? And I've seen and read things people aren't really happy about, and then obviously others are arguing the toss, saying, yeah, but you really need your air vents above your chairs in the cabin to be spot on. It's like, well, Phoenix and who's the other guys that do the 737 Max Fly? Is it FlyX or something like that? Their cabins are immaculate, and yeah, all right, some people don't want to see the cabins, but yeah, it's another one of those upgrades to our new product, but they just haven't nailed the whole thing. It's yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna give my opinion on it because I haven't seen it. I've just read and seen a few things. It's not something I'll go and pay for. I'm not in any rush to do that. Admittedly, I only bought the Phoenix A320 for just having a little play around with the Airbus and the the wing control stuff as well. So yeah, yeah. Don't get me wrong. Otherwise, they're a great aircraft. Not a fan GSX. I have it, but I haven't used it. To be fair, I've flown the PMG set a lot and love it. Yeah, I mean, it's still a nice aircraft regardless. Last time I flew a 737 in a simulator was X-Plane 11. I used the Zebo mod quite a lot with this default 737. Absolutely loved it. But yeah, I'm contemplating now. I'm gonna go and buy the Black Square Baron. I was gonna go buy the Bonanza, but I think, you know what? I might start having a little go at twin engine, twin props, because it looks fairly straightforward from things I've learned with the Pipers and the Cessnas, but plus it also looks absolutely fantastic, the Black Square Baron. So I think I'll have a little look at that because I'd like to do some flying in virtual reality with that. But anyway, as we move on down past the cargo apron, we've got a fair amount. We've got actually ASL Airlines, who I think do operate sometimes to Liverpool, but they also operate Manchester as well. Lufthansa Cargo, it looks like an A321 as well. The control tower looks modern. It looks like it's a new addition or at least, you know, not as old as the airport itself. Let's have a little look at the night lighting. Night lighting's fantastic. I absolutely love that we can still see the lights inside of the control tower. Night lighting's just really nice. Black Square Grades have many of their aircraft. Yeah, I've heard the Duke was really, really good, and obviously now they've done the Bonanza and Baron, which are a bit more in depth than sort of the older Bonanzas and Barons. So this is what I mean about the sound, is if we stay here, we're going to hear chatter, and then when we get near to the radios, we're actually going to hear a combination.
Left 130, just 567. Over to quarter 30. 29 for it. Airport 11, roger. Proceed as requested and switch frequency ground point 7. They're opening back up. Skyline 231 for X-ray.
Really, just a really nice sound stage. I think Drzewiecki did so well with the sound implementation. Andrew, I really appreciate that, mate. Ideally, I'd love to do actual dedicated videos for, you know, for airports, because obviously they'll be a bit more scaled down. The camera work could be a lot better, and I could definitely have a, you know, a bit more of a better flow on the script of things, because right now it is all improvised. I am literally just observing. I've said it many times, you know, I was able to daily upload once upon a time, and I was able to do so many airport review videos. For me, on a live stream, they're just easier. I can make them available to watch afterwards. But yeah, again, it's and again, I've said this a lot of times as well. It's because I think with live streams, with new airports or past airport reviews, or just general, you know, exploring each airport scenery, whether it's payware or freeware, I think most seem to incorporate it with a flight from or to that particular airport, which is absolutely fine. But for the many I've seen in the past, they don't explore the airport. It is purely to show you a departing flight and an arriving flight, which again is absolutely fine. That's the way they want to do it. I just know there's not many on YouTube who have a massive look around these airports on the sim. The only other person I know who I can fully recommend is Lee, a virtual airline pilot. Not a massive YouTuber, and I don't mean that in a person sense. I mean in figures, which doesn't really matter to me. But Lee, virtual airline pilot, his videos are about 45 to 50 minutes long, about the same as what I used to do, and he will take you around the airport. He will tell you every square inch. But the fact is, he used to work at Heathrow, was quite high up in Heathrow, so he knows what he's talking about with airports. Another fantastic looking hangar, by the way. I've noticed this one's a bit more boxed off, and you've got this 737. I would say that was an 800 with split scimitars. Definitely not a Max. Could be a 900 possibly, but it's actually got no gear on it at all. I watch his videos too. Yeah, I think if you like these type of sort of long-winded things, Lee is up there. When I used to do them, if you can still go back on the channel and see them, but obviously it's all going to be 2020 and it's going to be very old sceneries. But I used to spend a long time capturing every angle of the airport and doing before and after shots. you know, doing split screens. This is what the old building used to look like. This is what the new building looks like. It took a while, but I had that time. I didn't have a little baby girl. I didn't, you know. Yeah, and as you can imagine, in 2020 there was not very many people at work, so there was a lot to do. Just make sure you check the enter air hanger in the darkness. Kevin Drzewiecki has made it up there with some of the best hanger developers, because that's what we are now missing. We're getting all these detailed thermal interiors, but we're not getting lovely hangers like he's doing here. And Warsaw, just then when I was having a look at it, the Lot Airlines one, and then the business jet one, absolutely incredible. That's lovely, but yeah, we won't miss that one, mate. But guys, I really appreciate those words, because that's all I really want to do. There's loads I like to do, pre-recorded stuff for VR and pre-recorded oh, here we go. Pre-recorded freeway videos as well. I think I'll probably leave these airport scenery, I call them reviews, exploration, stuff like that. I'd leave them for live streams just because they're just easier for me to get out. Here we go. Look at this. Whoa. Wow. Yes, my man. I hope I don't get copyrighted for that. Go on, mate. Enter showing the 737 MAX off there in a ceremony. Oh my god. Oh my god. That is incredible. Screenshot on that, man. Gonna get copyrighted. That is just attention to detail. And then there's me outside just having a sneaky look in. I wasn't invited, so I've climbed up onto the roof. Oh my god, Drzewiecki, my friend. Oh my word. That is just insane. And then these guys over here working on this 737 are just absolutely not happy because they have not been invited. That is, yeah. Yeah, yeah. I honestly don't know really what to say about that. Yeah, stuck for words. It's incredible, but just the fact that it's been added in and it's there, and yeah. fair play. Another Antonov. Just the level of detail is just incredible, isn't it? I appreciate like I've said a few times in the live stream, I appreciate that the aircraft are accompanied by, you know, different things. You know, you've actually got sounds of the APU and everything as well. The models themselves are quite high detailed for static models, and yeah, like I say, that I appreciate the sort of scenarios that Drzewiecki's put in, and he hasn't just plonked a couple of static aircraft down. It does immerse the sceneries so much. You know, like this, you know, you got the air steps coming out. You've actually got them coming out of the 737 like they do in real life. You got this guy working, this lady and chap working on the engine. More sounds as well, just the immersion. Got a Moxie hotel over there. That's actually where the hotel we stayed in Warsaw. Not obviously that one, but the one in Warsaw. Lovely hotel, absolutely immaculate. The rooms are so nice. Ground equipment is placed authentically. It's where you'd expected to see it. There's obviously been a lot of thought put into that. And then as we move ourselves down, we're kind of the last stretch here now of buildings. I'll take a look. Actually, what I'll do is, before we get into sort of obviously to the end of the stream, I've not done too badly. I'm going to have a little look around, because we have got a full car park here, which, by the way, look at how stocked the car park is. We've got the train coming in as well. Look at this. Like I said before, the animation on the train is very, very nice and smooth. Nothing too jittery or jerky about it. We're definitely starting to get to the next gen of scenery for sure, like the new Rome you reviewed recently. And his, where there's, yeah, exactly, yeah. And this is what I was saying in the live stream a bit, I don't know, a couple of live streams, it might have been even the Rome one. A lot of simmers who originally weren't too bothered about having interiors and having these really in-depth, realistic sceneries, again with interiors and just everything else. Those simmers now, that they just kind of expect to have that as a standard when you buy into a scenery, and which is great, because it's also showing developers that people now do actually want these almost photorealistic, identical to the actual airport recreations. Look at that. We've even got the train station as well. It's quite a it is quite a detailed train station as well. Look at the platform, by the way. The textures on the floor here, really, really reminiscent of a train station, you know, and stay back from the yellow line. The train tracks have actually got a bit of depth to them as well. We've got the electric cables going across the top. Good stuff. Really, really good stuff. But yeah, I think as long as developers, and not all developers, I think as long as certain developers, sorry, brain fart, if developers are pushing their work, it gets other developers to push their work. then other developers start to get on board with the same airport. I can only use the example of InnyBuilds going to Manchester. We've got tier models doing Manchester, which, in all honesty, InnyBuilds is still up there with the best. We also have Ether Simulations, who are also working on Manchester. I'm very curious to see how theirs pans out and visually, can it go even further to what InnyBuilds have done? And listen, it's not worth calling out the big boys and saying that's your definitive version, because some of these smaller devs are coming along. Some of these people who have got one or two people in their team are doing it as well as a full-time job. They come along and then they create something. Big example, RW Profiles with Newcastle. They went up against, well, they didn't go up against Orbex, but they threw their hat in with a Newcastle, more up-to-date Newcastle, and they absolutely destroyed Orbex. And I know Orbex won't even be bothered that I'm saying that, because, well, we just need to look at Newcastle and see what it's like, don't we? Nothing better than being able to walk inside the airport. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, again, another thing, that's another good thing to point out, Rodessa, is that more and more developers are spending time putting collision into these airports, which again is taking time to do, because obviously each individual staircase or platform or floor in an airport has to be avatar compatible as well. And then for me here, look, we're talking about all these details, but the intricacy of the steel rods here, this is where it starts getting really detailed for me, is when little bits of structure is introduced, and you start to see metal holding up signs. You start to see rivets in joints, and a good example for me is Perseverance Scenery, Liam, working on Doncaster Sheffield. The way he's modelled the terminal in there is just so it is fabulous. But again, this is what we're getting. These developers are going so in depth with these lifelike sceneries that when you start adding in VR, as Andrew says, you're gonna start feeling like these airports, you've been to them. And like I said before, I really want to head up to Warsaw now, because I'm just exploring, even here as well. Yeah, so Andrew, this is I've actually commented on this quite a lot on various live streams, and I haven't mentioned it for a while, but I feel like I don't think it will actually happen, but I feel like Microsoft almost wants to do, I don't know, not a transport simulator, but almost like a world simulator. I don't think many people, there's going to be a large portion of simmers, die-hard simmers, that think it's a flight sim and that's it. But mate, I would absolutely love one day to be able to get a virtual car. We can obviously buy some drivable vehicles and boats and ships for even in some cases, and they're really good, they're really fun. I don't care. I know some people will say it's a flight sim, get a grip, but I actually would love if we've got this really high fidelity airport, whatever. You've got a lovely car, you can choose a car, buy it as an add-on, as I say, you can do, but officially you can get in it, you can go from your virtual house. All right, we start going into the the role play, the open world game, we go into the gaming side of things, don't we? which I don't like to think, but I'd love it if we could get into our virtual car, get to the airport, park it into a staff entrance, get into your Cessna, have a fly around, come back and go back to your house. Yeah, it's a flight sim, guys, but you know what? All the signs with Microsoft here point to this virtual world. Apart from the default roads and train tracks, they're all, you just couldn't do it. But when they start fixing the traffic and the roads and you can actually drive around it, there's no reason why you couldn't. I like the idea of it being a flight simulator, but also secondly a simulator where you can as a pilot make money. A career mode, which we've already got, by the way. You can make money, you can buy a car, you can go and fly it from a house somewhere. You know, there's a developer already making virtual houses. I did a live stream about it. It's pretty cool. They serve no purpose, they don't do much, but maybe one day they will. Look at the glass work, by the way. Now, funny enough, Prague Airport's got these little airplanes templated into the seats around the terminal. Same kind of little design. But look, you know, we've got these white stencils into the glass. That takes the time, you know. I mean, technically already possible at some airports like Indybuild. Yeah, definitely, you know, end-of-day simulations, Christchurch, you can drive all the way around that. It's just so cool to go and jump into a drivable vehicle and see it from a new perspective. Yeah, I mean, I can see it down the line. I don't think it's there yet. I think they need another couple of years to implement it, but I think a whole kind of, it could be transport simulator, a whole simulator where you can seamlessly get out of a car and enter into a plane and go flying, and you know what, yeah. Yeah, it's weird that we haven't seen some kind of road improvements. I know there's a couple. I've seen a couple on flightsim.to where it improves roads in certain cities. So yeah. Yeah, the lifts project. Yeah, some of these guys who are making some of the other bits of scenery add-ons, like, you know, drivable roads. There's a couple. Add them into the fact that they can make them seamlessly work with some of these airports. It's so cool. You know, in my Pyrigi Birmingham live stream, I drove the transit van around the airport just to show you that it was fully explorable and that you could do that. The modelling and texture work in this airport, similar to Warsaw, is just incredible work. It really is. And again, it looks like the whole airport is fully done. So good. Alright guys, I'm just going to go through here, don't mind me. And look at that, animated baggage carousels. Really cool. There's a guy who started adding trains. Yes, there is a guy. Yeah, I saw that. But that was a while back, and he added like US trains. And again, that's. I know Microsoft are going to be slash Asobo are going to be looking at third parties to do that type of thing. I think personally, it's entirely up to Microsoft and Asobo to make sure that the tracks and roads are completely done, you know, and we only, you know, we need them to this kind of quality. And sure, yeah, you probably could get one of the drivable vehicles in the sim and drive from point A to point B. It's not going to be spot on. In fact, there was another live stream I did. It was, I forget. Do you know what, guys? I need to try and figure out what that was. There was a live stream I did, and there was basically a stretch of road, wasn't there? What was it? And who was it? I forget. Yeah, Backwood Studios, Sutton on Rogue or Sutton on Rouge, and they'd done 2 of the airports, like a flying community one, and then that farm one, and there was a road that was just fully mapped, and you could drive between the airports, and it was so cool. I'm totally for these drivable vehicles on roads, and the boats are fantastic. If you get a lovely stretch of water somewhere lovely, the boats are actually really cool. It's not for everyone. Again, most people will argue the toss about whether we should have boats and drivable cars in, but it is what it is. You don't have to make them. You don't have to buy them, and these developers, if that's what they want to make, it's what they want to make. I don't like people saying, oh, you should be making something else, and we'll stop wasting your time on cars and boats when you could be making this, and this. Just ignore them. If you don't like those things, just leave them alone. They can make it. Let them do what they like. Okay. If you've bought one of the products and it's not being fixed and it's an utter mess, then yeah, fair enough, have your say. But I love that there's boats. I love that the yachts, you can go sailing down different rivers and different seas. I really want to get I've just updated the yacht and installed it back in. I want to take the yacht around Auckland because I've just installed Auckland Orbex for 2024. But anyway, guys, sorry that I'm going off on a bit of a different path here, but I'm a bit behind now. So, but looking at that, I mean, it's not. I don't think this is the modern terminal, but you've got all these panes of glass. These jet bridges, or sort of not connecting jet bridges, these are similar to what we've got at like Liverpool, and you're basically just walking onto the plane by going down the stairs or the lift. But the glass, look at the lighting inside there. Absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. It's nice, yeah. The cruise ship I haven't been able to get yet. I really want to try it though, but I love the yachts. I really do, yeah. Seafront Sims Global Shipping is one of the best. Yeah, I've only got the Global Shipping one, the freeware one. Yeah, it's Escape from Real World, and that's it. Yeah, exactly. That's all we need sometimes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And not everyone's going to agree, and I totally respect that. I understand. It is a flight sim, but Asobo Microsoft have made it possible for us to do all this in the flight sim. So it's no wonder that some developers are thinking, do you know what, this will be quite fun. Obviously, Flight Campers Vegas has been a bit up and down, but they're doing a fun Area 51 scenery next, or whenever that is, and that's going to be interesting to see. Again, it looks like Drzewiecki has done every bit of these interiors. Like, it isn't just partial interiors like we are seeing in some of the big names. I mean, Drzewiecki's a big name. I'm not using that term correctly, but what I mean by big name is I mean big studios, studios that have got hundreds of developers. They've got teams of people who can sit there and do one bit of the airport while someone does the other and stuff like that. I've seen people with developers with that kind of team only do partial airports, as in they don't do the whole thing. It's just the whole terminal. You can get lost. And this airport looks like it's a blooming pain to navigate, because it looks like it's on multiple levels. You start from the top and work your way down, similar to Liverpool actually. You do start from the bottom, go up to departures, and then come back down to depart. I love these chairs. There's a couple of these chairs in Prague Airport, right next to the window. Absolutely gorgeous. Again, another stunner, and there's more AN2s just on the ramp down here. Absolutely amazing. I've linked this one in the description as well, guys. If you haven't seen Drzewiecki's work, then, well, this is the time to do it. And if you have any questions, let me know. Come and join me on the Discord channel. Come and join me on social media as well. I know there's probably not a lot of you guys who possibly might be on social media. I know Discord now for flight simming and the communities is just the biggest place to be. It's the most useful in my opinion. But if you are on social media and you check your social media, then I'm on all of them. I'm on every one, and every time I update on a live stream or a video or anything, it will be on every one of those pages. It's all linked in my channel description, video description, stream description. I will be back soon with Builds Dallas Fort Worth. This might be an extended live stream because of the sheer size. Haven't got a date for you on that one, but it is Builds words are it is coming soon, so there will be a pre-release stream coming soon as well to the channel. Like, I can confirm that for you guys. As we go on, please keep an eye out for some freeware videos and some more VR videos. I am gonna look at doing some flying VR videos, not just YouTube shorts, but I have got a load of VR shorts as well in YouTube on my YouTube channel. So if you haven't seen any of those as well, they're in there, about 2 or 3 minutes long, and again, don't really give you a massive idea of what a VR headset is capable of in the sim, but yeah, it's hard anyway. People moan about UFOs and stranger things, Adam, but anything that draws people, exactly, Carl. I think the thing to look at with those add-ons is, apart from Jurassic Park, I'm pretty sure most of them have been free, if not all. I think Jurassic Park was a paid one, and that was by Orbex anyway. But they're free, and yeah, people will moan. And the biggest one for me is they'll moan about it. Oh, you should be doing this rather than making this, and it's like, yeah, but you realise that they're not actually taking time out of their day to go off and do something else before they do that. They've got other people working on that particular fix or issue or whatever, and then other people working on that thing. I think people forget that Microsoft have given us every world update for free, every sim update for free. You know, they could have easily charged for the world updates and the city packs. They could have easily charged for them. You know what I mean? But they're all free. So, yeah. But just anyway, people moan anyway, regardless. No one's ever quick to positively influence a software title. It's as soon as something breaks, it's right in there with the pitchforks and the fire. And I'm not playing this again. I'm not flying again. I'm not buying anything else from you. But honestly, I've said it before, a good portion of these people probably don't have the systems to play it, or the system isn't optimized, or they're just doing it wrong. And I don't mean that in a horrible way. I've seen a lot of people do that. They've said the sim doesn't work and then presented the specs, and it's like, yeah, but it's not gonna work. Unfortunately, you need a decent PC. And yeah, sometimes there is issues. I've had issues before, and I've been like, for sake, Microsoft, get it together. But anyway, guys, I am going to go because I need to go. And I will be back soon. Like I said, Builds Dallas Fort Worth. Keep an eye out for that one. It's going to be a big one. And yeah, there'll be more live streams planned. But I am going to get some freeware videos out for you guys, because I've got some things to share. And I'm already writing episode 6, because I know people do enjoy some the free alternatives, and some of the free stuff that's out there that is hid away, and they don't get talked about, do they? Because payware's taking the front seat. Global shipping, if you get, I need to, because I've got the free one for the ships and stuff, but I need to look at the global ship. Global shipping, is it the free one? I've got the free one. I've got the global shipping. I've got the extra routes as well, but I know there's a paid version of the ships. Yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming in. I am going to go, and yeah, I'll see you again soon. Yeah. See you later. That was the wrong button. That was the overlay.